Good morning, motherfuckers. What's up, guys? Alex here. Thank you for coming to my channel. Today we have something really exciting planned. We're going to be having Mike Larson from Larson Cycle is bringing down an all-electric Stark Varg. And I'm going to go head-to-head with my GasGas 350 from Bite Cycle and the Stark Varg. First time, to my knowledge, that an electric dirt bike has ever ridden at speed the Pro Track at Millville. So we have a Pro National track. We have an all-electric dirt bike. I'm going to be comparing it lap time wise from the gas bike to the electric. I'm really curious on a lot of different levels. I'm interested to see how this bike chassis is, suspension, the torque from the electric dirt bike. From what I'm understanding, you can really fine tune the horsepower, but it sounds like you can have as much as 80 horsepower on this Stark Varg. So I have a lot of really interesting questions. I haven't been riding a whole lot lately. I think the last time I rode was about a month ago. So we're gonna have to break off the rust in the first couple sessions, but I'm really curious just to see how the Stark Varg is at a Pro National level track. Lap time wise, like, is it competitive with a regular GasGas, you know, 4-stroke engine? You know, my last video I did 2-stroke versus 4-stroke. 2-strokes are for sure, the fun factor is really high. They're a lot of fun to ride. 4-strokes are obviously just the bike. If you want to be competitive in this day and age in motocross, supercross, you need to be on a 4-stroke. You know, where does this electric dirt bike fit in? I'm really curious to see. You know, from what I've heard, I know Racetracks, Motocross Action, there's been a lot of videos and content centered around the Stark Varg, and I'm really curious to see how fun is the bike to ride, and then actually how competitive it is. So really gonna just take this Stark Varg through the paces here at Millville today, and hope you guys enjoy.
So this is a new Stark Varg. Starting to see a lot of these pop up now. This is an 80 horsepower model. It's got 5 different mode settings that I've already pre-programmed. This bike is, I'm using a rear brake here, front brake here. Bike comes in at 259 pounds, so it's a tad heavy.
So what's the weight difference from the 80 horsepower to the 60? Is it the same?
It's 3 pounds.
3 pounds, okay.
Yeah. And it's about $1,000 less for a 60. So very easy to operate. It's electric bikes are so easy to ride. They're seamless, they're fast, they're incredibly smooth. This bike is amazingly skinny.
So suspension, you mentioned KYB?
It's KYB suspension. It is Brembo brakes. Very easy to operate. No shift lever, no brake pedal. Although you can order it with a brake pedal. So it's a choice upon ordering. When you order the bike, it's a choice.
So do you save a little weight by not having the brake
Yep.
pedal
Yep.
that's set up there?
Definitely. So charge ports right here. Twist off. The stand that comes with the bike is also the charger. So in here is the cords.
Oh, cool.
So there's your charge cords.
Yep.
And so into the wall, into the charge port of the bike. So the phone is your meter. It tells you your battery percentage. It tells you what mode you're in, and it shows you the elapsed time. Okay, so now that I'm on, I do have a live throttle. So I'm in mode 1. I have a 97% battery, and on this ride day, I've got 0 elapsed time at this point. But mode 2, mode 3, 4, so on and so on. That's your master power on and off right there.
So and the modes are horsepower wise?
Yeah, I've set up the 5 modes before I got here. I set up a 30, a 40, a 50, a 60, and an 80.
Okay. So
And
mode 5 is 80.
Mode 5 is max.
Okay.
So I'll be interested to get your opinion on that.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, we'll see if we can handle
And then
the
to turn it back off, just hold that down until it goes red. Like so, and turn the phone off. And if it's flashing, it went all the way off. Okay, so.
Cool. So to turn on, just hold this.
Hold that down. And then now it's flashing. It's going to try to pair, so I hit the down button. Okay, and now that you're green, you have a live throttle. Okay. So that is a live throttle right there.
Flashing, it's not a live throttle.
Yeah, it's trying to pair. It's pairing right. It's pairing to the phone when it does that.
And aero feeling. Check it out. Brandon, you ready?
Oh, go get my helmet.
Hey, one thing on the jumps over there, especially number 9, the sun is so far south up in the sky that there's a dark shadow on the left-hand side, so really scope that out.
Okay.
And they didn't pack the best because it's dry.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, also too, when you come down the collarbone and go right there, there's the snowmobile signs.
Okay.
Yeah, right in the middle, yeah.
Yeah, it's like right in the middle because the snowmobile trail goes right through there. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but you can see where I just ripped to the left of them. So. Dude, that was crazy. I gotta say, so I'm probably 4 or 5 laps in. First impression, this is unlike any bike I've ever rode before. It probably took me 4 or 5 laps to actually feel comfortable like jumping this thing. It's a totally different feel. One thing I was not expecting, guys, is when I am in the air on this thing, if I give it any gas, it literally just it'll yank the front end up. So I'm having to like tell myself not to give it gas in the air, and I'm kind of having to like come up to the jump pretty hot and just coast off the face. Because if I blip it at all, it literally goes like 12 o'clock. So pretty crazy. Right now I'm at 67%, and I've done, like I said, 4 or 5 laps. I just had to come, stop, and talk real quick. This thing is so much fun to ride. Dude, this thing is fast, dude.
Yeah.
There's areas where like I don't know how you're doing up here, but I can clear that whole thing and like land in the flat.
Really?
No problem. And I'm not even jumping the catapult yet.
Good.
I'm kind of nervous to jump the catapult because it's a weird feel in the air. Yeah. Dude, wait till you ride this thing. Hell yeah, track's actually pretty good, huh?
That's fun.
It's definitely harder in some spots.
Yeah. Like over there, I just like, coming back in the whoops, right on that turn, I just like,
Yeah.
I was like, that's pretty fun, man.
Yeah. Pretty good. I haven't done catapult yet. Yeah. Yeah, Gavin. So nervous. It's not that bad.
No.
I just like don't quite trust myself.
What's it like with the brakes?
The back brake is pretty weak. Oh, it's really spongy. Yeah. Like if I was gonna get one, I would 100% want a rear brake. Like a pedal rear.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right. You're just chomping at the bit, aren't you?
I don't want to ride it yet.
All right. So.
What are you in?
30, 40, so that was 50 horsepower. I've only done mode 3 so far. Alright. So, I think I'm probably 8 or 9, maybe 10 laps in, and I'm at 38%. So I've been riding most of the time in mode 3, which was 50 horsepower, so I think like pretty much fully modded factory 250F. That's about 50 horsepower. So I should actually note that it's like almost Thanksgiving here in Minnesota, and it's like 55 degrees today. So we typically blow out all the water lines because it gets below freezing at night. So just in order to make things obviously not burst, you got to blow the water lines out. So it's been about a month of like no water on the track, so it is a little bit dry today. But because it gets below freezing at night, the moisture is still is kind of in the soil. So I did the prep job, my dad and I, yesterday, and I really just ripped everything. So it's pretty deep, it's pretty loamy. It's kind of similar to what you would see like right away at Outdoor National, where it is kind of deep and loamy. And I will say, like, I use every bit of the torque and power, especially like over here. Brandon's coming. So like that, yeah, that first straightaway right there, kind of the start into the first straightaway, like I'm using every bit of the power. I haven't tried 80 horsepower yet, but like for 50 and 60 horsepower on this Stark Varg, I'm literally using every bit of it. Yeah. All right. All right, 80 horsepower, let's go.
Stalled it.
Do they make a? Yeah, you can do all the cars or the bike spring ring.
So how many do you have out at Moron?
We just got two. Just those two, yeah.
All right, so first impressions on the Stark Varg. This is a very, very unique bike. Really surprised with just how it felt on the track. The first jump that I hit, coming off the Bob's tabletop, it's a very iconic jump at Millville. Literally first lap, I gave it some gas in the air, and like I didn't realize it, but like if on these electric bikes, I guess if you get on the gas in the air for whatever reason, it just goes straight up, 12 o'clock. So I had to be really, really careful, and like it took me probably 5 or 6 laps to do the catapult, which is normally a jump that I can go out and do first lap, just because I wasn't really sure like what the bike was going to do, and I wasn't really confident in my ability on it in the air. So I would say though, after about 5 laps, I kind of had a good feel for it. Definitely have to approach jumps and in certain parts of the track a little bit differently than you would have like a gas-powered dirt bike. But I would say fun factor wise, it was an absolute blast to ride that bike. Started out in mode 3, which was at I want to say 50 horsepower, and then we do mode 4, which went to 60, and then I ended with mode 5 at 80 horsepower. And one thing that I was kind of surprised with is, you know, I thought 80 horsepower was going to be completely like unrideable, unmanageable, but with the deep loamy conditions that we have at Millville, it's actually not that bad. And granted, I could be getting a lot of wheel spin in areas, you know, that could be. I mean, it's got some Pirelli tires on there right now. I do feel like the scoop, when the way the track is today at Millville, it's deep and it's loamy and a little sandy, dry. I think the scoop would be hooking up a little bit better. But either way, was pretty surprised that the 80 horsepower was fairly manageable. We're going to put the stopwatch to both bikes later today just to see from like a purely lap time perspective, like which one is faster. I have, obviously my whole life I've been riding 4-strokes, so comfort wise, my comfort level is much higher on the GasGas 350 right now. But just curious to see, like I was definitely pleasantly surprised, just some areas of the track where it felt like straight up, I don't think I could have went that fast on the 4-stroke. A little bit lower to the ground than a normal bike, I feel like.
Really?
I feel like it's easier for me to get my leg over it, which is saying something. just telling him, I almost think I might be faster on the Stark Varg.
You think?
I don't, it's so torquey.
This
This is like really kind of labored. Like the bottom end is really laboring.
You were super smooth on it. I mean,
Yeah.
geez.
Yeah, there's definitely areas like coming out of the 180 and the whoops where this thing feels so slow. Stark Varg. I don't feel like they've really talked much about like chassis-wise how an electric bike kind of handles versus a 4-stroke. You know, like nobody knows.
I know. The bike feels so light without the crankshaft inertia and all that spinning mass inside the conventional gas motor.
Yeah, like it's crazy now to get back on this bike and see the difference in the back part of the track where you want to like, you really want to charge into the jumps. This thing is just so labored and feels, and granted I know it's a stock 350, but yeah, so to touch base on the chassis, it was really interesting because obviously this is like the first generation that I'm aware of for this Stark Varg. So I was really impressed with how the chassis handled, you know, because I feel like these other manufacturers, they've been doing this. They've been in this game for a long time. And every year, you know, you have factory riders that are racing from Europe to AMAs, Supercross, all over, right? So there's a lot of data going into kind of fine tune these motorcycles and make them better year to year, whereas obviously this electric bike doesn't have that. So I was pretty surprised, and obviously it was smooth today, so take that for what it is, but just seeing how the bike was handling, going through the whoops and the back sections of the track, down the downhills, like it was pretty planted. I was surprised. So chassis-wise, really impressed with how the bike was handling. Engine-wise, like I said, I didn't spend a lot of time up at that 80 horsepower point. Part of that was because of the battery. I guess the higher you go, the more horsepower you're asking for the bike, kind of it drains the battery. And I was trying to prolong it and ride it as long as I could. So, and even for the 3-lap battle, I just stuck it in mode 4. I didn't do the 80 horsepower mode 5. But for the most part, like the torque and the power that this bike has, it's just, especially going back to the GasGas and riding that bike, just seeing like kind of how labored it felt, like coming out of the corners. And granted, so like my GasGas doesn't have a lot of modifications. It's basically stock other than a pipe. But yeah, just how labored it felt after being on the electric bike, pretty crazy to me. So I gotta say, just all in all, after spending a day at Millville riding the GasGas and riding the electric bike, I feel like it's going to be pretty tough for me to be faster on that bike right off the bat after like 30 minutes of riding the darn thing. I wasn't expecting that. I thought it would be just a fun bike to ride, you know, and then that was but it wouldn't be competitive. So for it to be fun as well as competitive, I think it's a game changer. So we'll see if we see some Stark Vargs at Millville and other racetracks in the future. All right, so we can't have the whole video be all about how cool the Stark Varg is. My guy Jason Veit at Veit Cycle gave me this GasGas 350. We had Briar Perry from 180 Decals do the graphics. So we've done a couple upgrades, right, with the graphics. The FMF pipe, my guy Little D hooked me up. We got W wheels here. So that was a big thing for me. I rode for about a couple months this spring with just stock wheels. And when I put the W rim hub combo on there, definitely made a huge difference for me. I actually was pretty surprised because I think all the years on factory teams, like we always had good wheels, so I never really rode with stock wheels. So I didn't realize till I upgraded this spring how shitty stock wheels are. So definitely love those things quite a bit. And then my guy Paul Parabinos hooked us up with Renthal grips, bars, and chain and sprockets. So that's honestly about it. Stay with stock suspension all summer long. Kind of bare minimum, but for the most part, yeah, just I do love this bike. Yeah. God, it's the only way to get the damn thing open. Don't gotta do this on the electric bike. Hey, can I borrow some gas?
Quick Trip 91.
Oh, perfect.